Hey everyone, welcome back to Sword of Mana. In the last episode, Dime Tower was collapsing! And in this episode, hopefully we're going to rescue Elena and Marshall and make our way to Sanctuary, because if they don't make it, well then what was the point of us coming up here? Come on, Elena, you can make it! It's like a 2-foot gap. I mean, seriously, I've jumped bigger gaps than this. And so have you, actually, because you've jumped giant gaps that I've had to use the flail to get over. But the partners can jump over the gaps that I need to use the flail for, so you should be fine. Come on. You can do it! Don't doubt yourself now. We have to look towards the future. What are you talking about, Elena? No! Game! Don't do this to me now. Yeah, seriously, Elena. Don't be a martyr when you don't have to be. Well, yeah, but if I'm not moving forward with you, then how can you be looking forward? I'm not going to abandon your forward motion into the future just to use my own. Come on, Elena. You can't run from this. You're stuck with me for life, kid. Oh. Well, yeah, I guess we did forget that we had a robot with us with superpowers, so I guess he can do this. And we will catch Elena. Awesome. Yeah, what'll happen to you, Marshall? I mean... Oh, that's right, I remember. He can jump and fly. He has back rockets! He has jet boots! So he'll be fine. All we have to worry about is Elena. So, Duke, get ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 5! 3, sir. 3! Wow, well that was easy. Thanks for that, Marshall. Now come on, we gotta get out of here. Let's go! Why did the music stop? No! Game! You can't be serious! Come on, Marshall, you can fly! You're not broken yet! And besides, even if you get broken on the way over here, we can repair you. We have raw materials. Oh no. His mana power only works in Dime Tower. That's why the Warbots that we saw out in the Subland River and the Subsea Volcano, they weren't working because their mana power, they run on a limited, essentially, battery of mana power outside of the tower. So if he left the tower, he would only work for a very limited amount of time, and then he would stop. Now that's a problem because, well, all of his friends are in here, and if he dies out there, he'll be lonely for the remainder of his existence, because he's not necessarily going to stop just when his battery runs out. He's not going to die like us because he's a robot. He'll still be there. It'll be like being petrified for all of eternity. You'll be able to see everything that's going on, but you can't interact at all with the environment. So Marshall, unfortunately, would rather die here than die outside. But still! Screw sense, Marshall! We just met you! You're like the best partner in the game! The coolest, anyway. Elena's probably the best, or the hero or heroine are probably the best, but you're the coolest partner in the game! Why do you have to do this to me? Not again. Marshall. Marshall? Marshall! Damn it! Again! Why do you do this to me? Damn it, game. Gotcha! Every time, guys. I'm alright. We have to get out of here. Remember, we're not looking to the past. We have to look forward to the future. Marshall sacrificed himself for us to get out of here. We can't let that be in vain. And so we shall leave. It looks empty on the left side, though, without Marshall. But, whatever. He'll be alright. He'll be with the other Warbots. Hey! Aren't those the birds that have been following us the whole game? What did they... Well, they were here. Now they're not, but... Wow. Nice architecture on that door. It's Eden! No, but it's the equivalent of Eden. This is the Mana Sanctuary, leading up to the Mana Temple. Marshall, we shall avenge you. Elena joins back up with us, and we are heading to the final area. How do you know it's the final area? Have a listen to the music we'll be listening to. I'll tell you what, guys. Even to this day, having played this game several times through, the music in this final area, it's so ominous and haunting. I mean, it seems like the instruments used in this would be something for like a happy song, but they're used in such a way that it's so haunting and so ominous. It just gets to me every time. It makes the hairs stand up on the back of my neck every time I listen to it. And I love the music here for that. I mean, I love most of the music in this game, but I especially like the dungeon music here. So anyway, this is the final area of preparation that you can have before you head off into the final area. There's a golden mana statue here to replenish your HP and MP, and a potted plant in case you didn't do all of the forging that I did earlier at the other stuff. So since I already have my stuff, I don't need to do any forging. I was going to actually do the forging here for all this stuff, but well, I forgot. So yeah, well, I guess we'll just move on then. I wonder if I should forge some stuff for Elena, because she doesn't have any good equipment really. Nah, we have Angel Grails. She'll be alright. But you'll want to remember this potted plant for later, because if you want to get 100% of the game finished, which essentially means that you'll want to have Lil Cactus put everything in his diary, you'll have to get the... What's it called? You'll have to get every single entry into Lil Cactus's diary. So you'll want to remember this plant for later, because you have to come back here after we fight a certain boss coming up in order to fill out his entire diary. But for now, I'm not going to do that, because I'm not actually doing this 100%, because, well, I didn't finish all the side quests in the first place. I pointed you guys to them, but I didn't finish them all myself. So, let's just move on. This is the Mana Sanctuary, or in other words, the vicinity of the Mana Temple. I love the environment in this place. Look at all of the color in this place. It's so beautiful here. I mean, I loved the winter area in James Bond 007 Nightfire, but I love the Mana Sanctuary even better, even though I'm a winter person, because there's so much color, it's so vibrant and full of life, despite the fact that it's the final area of the game, and it makes you realize this is what we're saving. This is the reason why we can't let Julius have his way, because if he has his way, all of this beauty that is around us, it'll all die. We have to stop him, or else this will all die. And everything else in the world will die with it. I mean, it's not like the rest of the world isn't as important, but this place especially puts it into your head that there's something worth saving in this world, because I mean, if it was a dingy, like, tower or dungeon or something like that, like in most other RPGs, like you go to, like, a tower or a cave or something to that effect in order to go to the final dungeon. Well, most of the time the tower or cave is the final dungeon. Or you go to, like, a dark realm or something ridiculous like that. It doesn't feel like you're saving the world that you know until you get to the scenes where the characters are, you know, making their epic speeches about how we have to save the world and blah, blah, blah. In this place, there's no need for words. You can feel the atmosphere around here. You can feel all of the things that are worth saving just by looking around. It's amazing. It's groundbreaking. The work that this game does in breaking the stereotypes of the role-playing games that were around in its time of day, it's amazing what this game does. Sometimes, I mean, it's a little game for Game Boy that most people probably wouldn't know too much about unless they're like hardcore mana buffs, but it does very good work with what it has so far. Anyway, and since we're heading to the end of the game, it will do good work for the remainder, as far as I'm concerned. So now to talk about Mana Sanctuary a little bit, aside from the beauty of the area, it's also a very large maze, unfortunately. You will not fire petrify beams at me. The problem with it is that if you don't go the correct way, it's kind of like Geno's Forest in Super Mario RPG. If you don't go the right way, you can get stuck in this place forever because it will just loop you around to the same area over and over again. So from the top of the forest, I'll tell you when we get out of the forest, the maze area of this forest. But from the beginning of the forest, after the Mana Statue and Potted Plant, you want to head to the north exit, the east exit, and then the south exit of the areas of the three areas. That's what I've done so far, and I've moved on. If I hadn't done that, I'd be looping around to to the same area over and over and over again, which is very bad, and I don't want to do that. So I can't get back there. Oh, there's a way to get back there anyway over here. Okay. So basically, what you want to do is you want to be very careful, because if you don't go in the correct directions, you will end up being stuck here for a very long time, and that's no fun. So anyway, while we're still on the subject of misinterpretation, since I'm doing this in the same recording as I was in the other one. Oops, whoa. Earth basilisks. Their eyes are blood red. They're so evil looking. That's why they must die! I'll leave that one to live. He didn't do anything wrong. Not that the other ones did anything wrong either, but you get my point. Make sure you head east in this one, or else you're not going to be able to get out of that area either. I mean, look at the environment here. It's especially in daytime, the environment, you can see just how beautiful everything is here, because look at all of the color. It's crazy. And it's so vibrant, especially for a Game Boy game. I mean, yes, you have this kind of color in the GBA's other games, but you don't see something like this very often. So when you do see it, it's mind-boggling. It's absolutely fantastic. So you absolutely do not want to head east here, because if you head east, you will end up way back at the beginning of this whole maze area. If you head north, you will leave the maze area and end up in a different area. You'll know that you've done the puzzle correctly when you see this happen. The forest is dying. Julius is sucking the life energy right out of Sanctuary. You see what I mean about having to save this place? If we don't save it, this whole place will die. It's already dying. So we have to stop Julius before he does anything to cause more difficulty here. And holy crap, Basilisk Guards. They do that a couple of times here on your way to the Sanctuary. They will actually have the guards spawn right in front of you. So you got to be on your toes at all times here. Or else, well, they'll gang up on you, and that won't be fun. I'm going to take a quick water break. I've been recording for an hour and 5 minutes here, so